in the process as well. This is the breakdown. 9 shots from Arsenal to Liverpool's 8. It's actually the fewest shots that Arsenal have had here since New Year's Day 2022, 4 years. Touches in the opposition box, 23 to Liverpool's 11. But really this was a story of two halves. Liverpool incidentally without a shot on target for the first time since March 2010. They came very close. Conor Bradley hit the bar. But have a look at this breakdown. And particularly the passes in the final third tells an interesting story. Arsenal with 113 to Liverpool's 28 in that first half. A half which the home side really dominated without managing to find that final edge. In the second half, almost a complete role reversal, 45 for Arsenal. Liverpool with 93 as they really managed to grab a hold in it. What was behind that, do you think, Roy?
Well, I think Arsenal maybe got a bit tentative, before the game. We thought about Arsenal going on to win the game, but I think the longer the game went on from Arsenal's point of view, and they thought Liverpool looked comfortable in possession, they just probably thought, well, we'll maybe just take the draw. A point's not the end of the world for them. I think the worry for them would have been, I suppose, not you keep a clean sheet, you take a point, you're the positives, but that Liverpool kind of dominated the game so much. Okay, they had no cutting edge, but I think it was the way Arsenal didn't go and take the initiative. I think there was a bit of tension in the stadium, and obviously that will get worse in the latter part of the season. So that would be a worry. But all credit goes to Liverpool in terms of the way they dominated possession. Now, usually when you sit in, when I was watching Liverpool the first half, when Liverpool win it back, they weren't looking to break quickly. They were just looking to control the ball and kind of take the energy out of the stadium, which they've done perfectly well. The only disappointing thing from Liverpool is we just saw the stats there. No real cutting edge, didn't have enough quality. Yeah, they're missing important attacking players. But they showed a bit of fight, they showed a bit of swagger that they are champions, but still didn't have that, obviously, kind of belief, cutting edge, they'd score a goal.
And what did you make, Daniel, of Arsenal's approach in the second half? Was it that they couldn't push Liverpool back, or they didn't really want to?
It's a strange one, really, because I think that first half performance, you go in as a player typically, and the manager will get the videos out and he'll show you what's working, what they need to change in order to improve. And I think whatever information they got, I think Liverpool's, conversations they had at half time probably were better. Arsenal didn't really seem to have a lot of solutions to break them down. Liverpool took a lot of the control out of the game. They found the outball to Frimpong, which they didn't use in the first half. That wasn't on as often. And to Roy's point, I don't think Arsenal took the initiative. There did feel like there was tension. It did feel as if the players were content a little bit. But of course, these are things that happen sometimes. As players, you go out there and you get that feeling like, damn, we should have broke them down. And then you come out second half, the other team starts better than you, and then you sort of think you go into your shell a little bit. It seemed that's how Arsenal kind of went into their shell a little bit.
Football, we watch football all the time, and we look at Arsenal, we give them all the praise before the game. The table doesn't lie, the amount of games they've won, brilliantly defensively, but they look like they lacked a bit of belief tonight, which is really bizarre when you're looking at a team that are flying, top of the table. Liverpool are coming, missing some important players. You're thinking, go on, just again, flex your muscles, send a message to your teams that you're going to go on to the next level and get a bigger lead in terms of the league table points. But they kind of lacked belief. Rice was a bit sloppy this little bit of second half. Lewis Skelly came on, he looked didn't even look ready to come on the pitch. And if Liverpool had a bit more about him, then it could have been a lot worse for him.
Neville, Daniel Sturridge and Roy Keane are here with us this evening to see this one. Have we seen this film before, Roy? It all seems very nicely set up for Arsenal, this.
Yeah, it is. And obviously there's been doubts over the last few years that they had the strength and depth. But certainly this year, I think with the recruitment, you look at the bench tonight, it's all set up for Arsenal to go on and win the title. They're so strong, they're so aggressive, real goal threat, strength and depth, physically. Obviously, they're very, very good, not giving much away at their back. Obviously, a win tonight, big challenge again from tonight with the other team slipping up yesterday. It's there for them to go and grab it and take it and embrace the challenge and go and win that title. Everything's set up for Arsenal. If you gave me a choice which dressing room I'd like to be in terms of trying to win the league this year, 100% be in the Arsenal dressing room. I think it's geared up for them. They've got to go on now and take this opportunity.
It does feel, Daniel, like the Arsenal fans are coming here ready for almost for a celebration. The chance to go 8 points clear. What can Liverpool do to stop them?
Well, firstly, they've got to be, mentally ready for the battle. It's going to be a tough game for them tonight. Physically all over the pitch, they've got to impose their will on Arsenal, which is a difficult task for any team. And try and create chances as well. I think they've been lacking that cutting edge in front of goal, and certainly on set pieces. Arsenal's strength is set pieces. It's about sticking to that task tonight and trying to avoid, conceding one of those. That's what we know Arsenal for. And it's going to be a tough night. We know that they're not in their best moment in terms of the performances and the standards they've set over the last, maybe 6 or 7 seasons, and particularly last season when they won the league. But in the end, these are the type of nights as a top player that you want to perform in, that you want to show your level. And it's a good barometer for them to see where they're at as a team now. The unbeaten run is the unbeaten run, but they've not faced a team like Arsenal in that.
Who knows if Liverpool have a surprise in store in it, but it does feel it would be a surprise based on the form of these two teams right now, Gary. And I suppose 8 points even would not be a guarantee of title success, because there have been moments in the past, 7 of them, when teams have had a lead of 8 points or more and failed to win the title, and Manchester United featured twice on that list. But do you think this Arsenal team are made of sterner stuff if they do get to 8 points?
I do, and obviously looking at that graphic, when I look at those teams, there are a couple of things that happen to those teams. Either they're very good teams that get injuries, which means they get caught, or they weren't good enough in the first place and they'd never won it before, and they end up, to be fair, struggling mentally towards the end. I think with Arsenal having been through these last 2 or 3 seasons of experiences, they've obviously bolstered the squad. And when I look at Arsenal's second 11 with the way the league currently is, I think their second 11 would currently finish in the top 4 in the Premier League. I think they're that good in terms of their squad. I think they're really, really good. There's no drop-off now between any player, other than probably Declan Rice. I think every other player beneath the one that's in the squad, in the team, is at excellent level.
Have you noticed a sort of shift in the Arsenal mentality, Roy?
Well, if you look back earlier in the season when Liverpool beat them, there's a lot of criticism come Arsenal's way after the game. The manager's not brave enough, too defensive-minded. And whatever's happened over the last few months, they've got a little more belief, a lot more confidence. They've obviously got match winners. We spoke about set pieces, but it's not just set pieces now. It's just about, we saw the other night again, players playing off the cuff, people going past people. No, I think they're excellent. I think it's geared up from, and I think there's more to come from this Arsenal team. I don't think this Arsenal team will be a case of trying to hold on and be, obviously you look over your shoulder, but I think they'll be focused on, we can improve, we can get stronger. And again, we go back to it, any injuries, or when players are suspended over the last few weeks when they've made changes, you don't even notice. Remember last year too, if Saka was missing or Rice, you'd be thinking, these are big losses. But no, when these players are missing, players are coming in almost just as good as them. And that strength and depth will obviously be the difference between now and the end of the season and getting their hands on that title.